All right, we are at Kathie's Quilt Shop, one of our last stops on our main run. And your name is?
Kathie.
Kathie, that makes sense.
Yes.
Now, Kathie, how long have you had the shop here?
I have been in this location for 10 years, but I've been in business for 13.
All right, and we have interviewed you before, and I don't remember this giant machine from the last time I was here. Tell us about this big machine.
That is our lovely Gamal long arm quilting machine. So people will make their quilt tops and then they bring them to us to do the quilting on.
So just to give a person an idea, exactly how long is this? This is for what, 12, 20 feet?
12 feet.
12 feet long.
12-foot frame, yes.
And that's how, and people who are making quilts, unless they're doing everything by hand, they'll bring it to a place like this.
Correct.
And this will, you'll program that in, and it takes a bit. How much time does it take for this thing to
do one? Well, this is not computer operated, so everything we do is freehand. We do not do pantographs, so everything is in our head, which can be a dangerous place to be sometimes. But all of the designs are freehand. So depending on the size of the quilt, it depends on how long it takes. It takes longer to load them sometimes than it does to actually quilt them, depending on the size. But a queen size, for example, if we can do it uninterrupted, can be done within a couple of hours.
Now the question is, in a shop like this, I don't imagine you're uninterrupted very often.
Correct.
It must be very, because I mean, we're here for the last hour of the day, and women have been in here pretty continuously. If it wasn't 10 minutes to closing, I imagine you would not be very lonely.
Yeah, it was very, very busy today, right from the start. But yeah, right now I am taking bookings in July. So that gives you an idea of how busy I am with this.
Now, obviously, Maine is a big vacation location. Do you get a lot of tourists in the tourist season coming up and picking up fabric and the like?
A lot. Yeah.
But I imagine they're not using the long arm because that's something more for the people who are local.
Pretty much. I do have a few that are from away that send them to us to do, but it is mostly local, yeah. But we are now approaching believe it or not, approaching the tourist season because now quilt retreat weekends are kicking up.
I don't know, what is a quilt retreat weekend? I've never heard of one.
It is groups of crazy women who come up and spend a weekend in a location away from home. And it's all about sewing, eating, and I'm pretty sure drinking wine, if they're going to be honest. And then they visit all the quilt shops.
Okay,
and that's what I have had today. It has been group after group of women here for the weekend.
I can hear the ears of both my wife and my sister-in-law saying, oh, interesting, interesting. Now, I've got to ask this question because everywhere I've gone today, I've seen tuffets. Yes. And the first time I saw it, I thought, that's interesting. And now I see a tuffet here. You're telling me that there's two types of tuffets, and tuffets have become practically a quilting fad type thing.
Yes, it's a very fun thing to make. So,
and it's basically a seat, so I can sit down like and this is me sitting down on a tuffet, just like the nursery rhyme, but it's kind of short, so that's not very. But you say those have been very popular to make, and that's something that can be made in a day.
This version, yes. The version that we do uses a wedge ruler, 15-degree ruler, to cut your strips. Then you sew the strips together and assemble it. There's, assembly there. But we did a class on Monday, and from 9 to 1, at 1 o'clock, they were done.
So it's all math. So a bit of math and geometry here when it comes to quilting. A lot of measurement, a lot of,
yes,
measure twice, cut once type of thing.
Exactly.
And when you see the bolts, people buy it by the yard for their quilts to get the patterns that they want.
They do. They do.
Now, what are your hours here?
We are open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4. We're closed on Sunday, Monday.
And where can people find you online again?
We are at www.kathiesquiltshop.com.
And if people want to send things over for the long arm stuff, they can find the information there.
Yeah, we have a website. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, all that good social media
And you'll
stuff.
be on my my YouTube channel once again. Well, thank you again for having us again, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right.